Okay, so I can promise you 3 things. I'm going to teach you something, I'm going to make you laugh, and I'm going to make you cry. Everything else is going to be just going to be meat filler in here. And this was the first attempt. Didn't work. Okay, so let's get going. Where's the clicker? Here's the clicker. Okay, give me a minute to get oriented. There we go. Nice to meet you. My name is Daniel Glikman. I'm CMO at Powtoon, and there's one thing I love doing is measuring. I measure everything. I'm a nut in measuring. I measure everything that our users do. We have about 3 million visits a month to our website, and I want to know everything. And the reason for that is because I need to know what works, what doesn't work, and I need to know why. The data is always a lead to why and what next, right? I see. Okay. Mission 1 accomplished and about 30% here. I see some smiles. Good. Okay, 35. Okay, almost. The story here, where do I aim it there or there? How does this work? Okay, if I click here, will it work? No? Up? There we go. Good. Ha! Got you. Okay, so we are B2C2B, and the story is when I started at Powtoon, the product came in, they made a product, and they said, now we need to market. They hired me. I just came back from the States, and they said, let's just market this to people. And I said, market what? They said, oh, we have a great product. I said, who's going to use it? Oh, people will use it. And I said, okay, we have to flip around how we're thinking about this. You don't develop a product and then tell the marketing, do something with it. The marketing tells the product, here's the market, here's the target audience, here's what they like, here's the style, here's the quality they're looking for. Please build that. Then we can do it. So I said, okay, so what's the target audience? I said, I don't know. So we started measuring. We started looking at who's actually using, who's using the product, why, who's buying it, for how much, and I'll show you soon what we found out. But basically, within 3 months, we got to a net profit. It's a big success. You know, we're ranked 5,900th most popular site in the United States. So that's a lot of traffic. We're gaining about 10,000 new users a day right now. So it's going haywire. And all of this with barely any marketing or official advertising. But what we do, we constantly bring a positive ROI to. Now I have to wait and see what I was planning to say, because until I see the slide, I don't know. So, okay, here's how we do it. And this doesn't just apply to ads, it applies to pretty much anything we do in marketing. We measure this way. And what we need to measure is pretty much look at the flow of what happens. We start by defining a target audience and saying, who are these segments? Who are we targeting? And in some cases, they will behave very differently and they will be looking for very different needs. A startup might be looking to pitch their startup. They might be willing to pay a very low price for that because they don't have any money. A professional marketer might be looking to get more conversions on their website or boost their SEO, and they will be willing to pay a lot of money if you can show them the value. The way they're going to measure it is going to be very different. So we define target audiences, and then we ask ourselves, where do they hang out? So that's the second step. Each one of those will hang out in different places. If we mismatch our messages we put the right message in the wrong place, we're gonna get leads that are not going to convert later. So we want to keep a proper flow for each of these, right? For each of these target audiences, we're going to keep a proper flow through. After that, we create an ad, and we say that matches that target audience in the context of where they're going to see it. And we bring them to a specific landing page, which could be our homepage, for instance. In this context, it's a landing page. So we bring them to a page on the site that, again, continues its relevancy. Ideally, continues also the design flow and everything else. But not to make, one doesn't have to complicate it too much. It's just the message being consistent all the time. And at the end, we convert them. And what we're going to look is from step A to step Z, going through B, C, D, E, and F, where are the weak spots? How do we keep them going? But at the end, it has to end up at the conversion, and whatever channel does not lead to conversion, we cut off and we move to the next. And we just do that systematically. So step one, we identify the buyer personas, and we say, okay, startups, how much are they willing to pay? What are they looking for? Small businesses, who are they? What are they, male, female? How much money do they make? Where do we find them? A little secret is the direct mail people from the offline. I used to use those back before the days of the internet. And they have amazing data about people. Amazing. They know exactly who lives where, how much money they make, how much they owe on their mortgage. They know everything about you. And nowadays, you can also use that in Facebook, etc. These guys are amazing with what they know. And we just need to kind of say, okay, what are our segments? And keep studying the segments. And how do we find out the segments? We asked. And we created a lot of segments. And we asked people, are you one of these? Are you a developer? Said, yeah. And then we found developers and designers behave exactly the same. From our perspective, they're one and the same segment. And we narrowed it down to 5. And here they are. Oh, look at that black line cutting right through. So these are our segments. These are who we market to, right? These guys. And the difference is, for instance, the EDU, teachers and students, very different in behavior, very different in their needs. The commonality, they don't pay, never pay, right? They do bring us other benefits. So the question is, okay, what benefit do they bring, and how am I going to measure that? And how am I going to encourage them to do that? They bring virality, they bring SEO, backlinks. So they do all those stuff, and I have to put a price on it. So I'm going to give a price, ideally, and say each student is worth 35 cents for me. Each marketer is worth $15 for me, okay? And you simply add up the numbers. Because if I just treat them all as one and the same, doesn't quite compute. Now, we're going to want to give each one of those a custom message. Do I really have 3 minutes left? Is that serious? Wow, my God. Okay, so let's zoom past this. 3 minutes. Okay, I'm going to create a custom message, each one of them, what they need. Here's an example for startups. If I show this to professional marketers, now click. If I show something too generic to startups, they're going to click, but then they're not going to buy. So I want the ones that I know are going to buy. I'm going to give them the right message for that. Forget about the ones that not. I'm going to put it in the right place in the right audience. And here's how I do it. I look at, if you look at this doesn't work, students on the left, I can see my conversion ratios for this specific ad. And I see that when it brings students in, I get 0 sales. I don't want students. And but I do see that in percentage-wise, I see that, say, marketing professionals do convert and do end up paying. So I'm going to focus on those with this message. Now, I'll simply go and customize every single ad down to the last detail and down to the last audience. And it's an example of where you can do it. And then I'm going to attach a UTM code. And if you don't know what it is, ask me afterwards. So I can track every single ad to every single campaign down in my system to the behavior inside my system. And that way I can tell this specific ad brought people that actually ended up converting. So when I get to a landing page, I want to say the only video marketing solution designed exclusively to grow your small business. I'm not going to show that to marketers. I'm going to show that to small businesses. I know that they're small businesses because I put a UTM code and I brought them with a specific ad that said the same thing. They see this and boom, conversions jump. Now they think, this is not just an animation software. This is a video marketing solution for small businesses. Bingo, I love that. And we're going to upsell them. Right? So we're going to put a landing page for selling, in this case for marketers. It's the same pricing, the same everything, except it's specifically for marketers. Okay, now, so what I did was I simply created a pathway right through through everything. And through my whole flow. And what I do is I start with the UTM code, and then I put cookies in there to track them so I can keep everything in one database. And it's kind of like playing Battleship, where you have, hit here, okay, I'm in the right neighborhood. I keep going, okay, got the right message, did I get or not get the right landing page, or et cetera. And then I keep tracking. So I track every single audience, check every single conversion for every step of the way, and I'm just going to zoom past to this slide, which is the big one, the average lifetime value, and take a picture of this with your camera. The average lifetime value, which is basically your sales price multiplied by the rate, how many recurring sales are going to have, and divide it by the proportion of sales you bring from that channel for that particular sale price. So if I bring 30% of accounts that are worth $100 and 70% of accounts that are worth $2,000, the average has to be calculated based on the 30-70 ratio. And then add virality. Because each of those users is going to bring more users with them, and that varies from one website to the other, so you have to calculate that. And that boosts your performance dramatically if you have a virality in there. And you put everything in a spreadsheet. This is our real data right there, or most latest data, and you basically go your dollar spent compared to how much revenue was brought in. And you can have a shortcut where you simply multiply the number of sales by your average lifetime value. If it's too clumsy or too time-consuming to start calculating this actual numbers brought in. But you actually want the average lifetime value because the first month might be free or might be at a big discount, and then they come in and pay more. So we're gonna do that and calculate the ROI for each and every channel. And if we see that, in this case, this cost didn't bring us any money, we cut them off, and then we move on. And so it's like playing battleships all the time. And that's how we calculate ROI. And if you do this on anything you do, and emails and virality, because emails cost you money to get there, you basically get to a net profit ROI on your marketing and your advertising pretty quickly. And basically your advertising is driving the money, not costing the money. Thank you very much.
Thank you.